Welcome back to the Manc Entrepreneur YouTube channel and to another Monday's Don't Suck episode where I try and give you the motivation that you need to kickstart this week the right way. Now, as always, we kick things off by take a look at what happened last week, what we've got coming up this week before getting into the main sort of motivational piece for the day. Last week was... it was good because we got Matt back, Matt got his full hearing back on Wednesday, which was great. So yeah, that was good. We had lots of meetings, lots of catching up to do, some strategy talking points as well about what we're going to be focusing on over the next few months. So the main aim of that has been that this week coming up, we are hopefully just going to plough through a load of content creation for the business and hopefully kick that momentum that we need going off in the right direction again. Looking at the calendar, I am here all week. I've got no plans to go anywhere, so yeah, it should be this next week, and to be fair, the weather as well is looking pretty horrendous, so no distractions, no going anywhere, just a week of hopefully being here and hitting the record button quite hard. What else is coming? I've got no, that's pretty much it. Next week I am potentially, not this week, the next week, I am potentially heading down to Bristol. Whether that's for 1 day or for 2 days remains to be seen. But of course I would take you with me then as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So again, this is quite a this is, like I said, a lot of the businesses that we work with are e-commerce businesses. They sell online, and right now we're coming into the busiest time of the year for the majority of them, which means this is a time now where me and Matt are sort of thinking, right, we need to help as much as we can with the marketing piece, because that is going to play a crucial role as to some of their success over the next few months, but also planning ahead for what they're likely going to want to see come February onwards. We like to leave January kind of open because January sales are still a big thing, still a lot of sales opportunity. Also, you've got the returns period as well after Christmas, which can be a bit of a nightmare. So trying to plan ahead from February onwards into 2018, what we should be creating and what our audience would like to see. So yeah, that is what we've got coming up this week. And I do apologise, I seem to have contracted a bit of a cold over the past couple of days over the weekend. So my nose and my throat, I can feel are a little bit there. So with that said, on to the main subject of the day, which is innovation. And the reason for this is that this week on Tuesday, I think it's Tuesday, Apple are holding their annual, it's not their WWDC thing, it's their annual usual like conference where they talk about usually that the iPhone 8 will no doubt get released or announced there. And they'll talk about those features. Now, the thing with Apple is, and again, no hating on Apple here. I was an Apple customer, still am. Still have the MacBook and still have the iPad somewhere. But I was an Apple phone user for over 8 years, and it was at that time. It was the Steve Jobs era. It was when he first announced the iPhone, and looking back, the revolutionary products, the Macintosh, the iTunes, the iPod Nano, the iPhone, the iPad, all of a sudden the iPod Touch obviously predated the phone, and it was this innovation which we got so used to with Apple. They were just the market leaders when it came to this, and it seems that ever since Steve Jobs passed away that we've been lacking a little bit in the Apple department. I mean, I know earlier this year they announced the HomePod, which is basically an Amazon Echo with better speakers, because the focus will obviously be on music with Apple. But it's an also-ran product. It's not new. They're not changing the game. They're just another competitor who's decided to do a smart speaker, who are competing with Amazon and Google, and I don't think they're going to win in terms of market share when it comes to smart speakers. So that's the thing, is like, we're like, where has the innovation gone from Apple? And we've got obviously Samsung and now Google with the Pixel doing big things, and the Google Pixel 2 is apparently going to be announced in October. There's also rumours that Google might are in talks to buy HTC and take over the hardware production. Then you've got Huawei out in the East, who, again, huge company that no one's ever heard of, really, but doing some very exciting things with AI, especially, and the processing power within their mobile phones, and the camera, again, in their mobile phones is amazing. They just don't have that brand awareness like the likes of Amazon, Google, and Samsung do. Then there's obviously the OnePlus guys as well, who do some great tech. And it just seems like the whole industry of innovation in mobile phones has been moving on. We have wireless charging in like some of the Samsung devices, and the cameras are adding more sensors so that you can get really good cameras on really small devices. And what are Apple doing? Apple took away the headphone jack before anyone else, which lost me as a customer. And they make the screen slightly bigger. They make the battery last slightly less. They're trying to make it last longer, but obviously the more processing power, the bigger screens, it's going to be obviously always going to be a battle to get the battery to last 12 hours. So what are Apple actually doing? We've not seen innovation in Apple for years, and I think that's desperately what they need. They need that famous Steve Jobs one more thing. And will we see that on Tuesday? I have no idea, because we've not seen it ever since Tim Cook took over. There's rumours that they're bringing out a TV. Is that really necessary? They already have the Apple little TV box. Are they going to bring out a proper TV? I don't know. I mean, there's rumours that looking at driverless cars, but so are Tesla and Uber, and what are they? I feel they need to bring something new. More than ever, they need to innovate, and I think that is the message here for Monday, is that if you are starting a business, or if you are running a business, what are you doing differently to the competition? What are the opportunities for you to stand out from the competition or bring something totally new to market? Those who are the first always tend to be the biggest winners. Whether it be bringing a product, like the best example is the Amazon with the smart speaker. Nobody knew that we needed a smart speaker in our lives. Amazon brought one out about 2 years before anyone else, and they just smashed the market share. Like currently, I think it's 75% of all smart speakers are Amazon Echoes. The Google Home is slowly, catching up, but they had 2 years worth of, lead on that. That makes a big difference, and you could say exactly the same with Apple when they first brought out what we would now consider the first modern smartphone. Is as soon as Apple released the iPhone, the very next day, where after that press conference, the team at Google who were working on the Android operating system binned everything. They literally said, what we have looks so dated as to what Apple have just released, we have to start again. And that, and that gave Apple that good 3 years worth of advantage, of market dominance over the competition. And I think that's what Apple is still relying on now, is that previous glory days. But they need to keep on. Nokia, famously, they were the mobile phone guys. The 3310, the 3210, they were the phone to have. And then what happened to Nokia? They stopped innovating, and they're still around now. And I saw them trying to hashtag a Bothy or something. Apparently, you can now take picture with the front camera and the back camera at the same time. I don't know why anyone would ever need that, but they're still around, but they're just nowhere near as prominent as they were. And that is the message. It's like, don't try and rest on what you've done previously. You need to carry on innovating and not get complacent, and look for opportunities which make you stand out from everyone else. So with that said, I'd like you to think, like, a little bit of time this Monday, going through the rest of the week, what are your biggest opportunities for Christmas 2017? What can you stand out from the crowd? Is there a product range? Is there a kit, a bundle, something that you can do to really make yourself stand out from the crowd? If not, if you're not running a business already and you've got a business idea, how can you bring that to fruition? What are you bringing to the table which no one else has seen before, or that no one else is currently doing? Those are the questions I'd like you to answer. If you have any questions or comments, or you want to share them with me down below, please do so. I will get back to you 100%. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And with that said, enjoy the rest of your Monday. Go and smash the rest of the week. And I'll catch you, as always, in tomorrow's video. And I'll give you a heads up, this week we're going to be doing a bit of a marketplace. It's going to be a bit of a marketplace week, really. We're going to be looking at lots of different marketplaces that you may or may not have heard of, having a little bit look deeper, seeing if there's any opportunities there for you as a buyer or a seller. And yeah, hopefully just giving you some more avenues to explore. So look forward to seeing you then. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you then.